Hello, I'm employed by an organisation that works with members of the deaf and hard of hearing community. I'm deaf and only one other member of our team is hard of hearing. We decided that it would be really beneficial for our team to have the opportunity to gain a better understanding of the experiences and lives of deaf people so that we could work more effectively as a team. So via our employment assistive funds, we took the opportunity to employ the services of Auslan Consultancy to provide deaf awareness training to our team. Our entire team participated in the training that went for 2 hours in total. It was just fantastic. Everybody was really engaged and eager to learn about deaf history, culture, issues and barriers that members of the deaf community face, and how to best support members of the deaf and hard of hearing community. The only grievance some members of staff had was the fact that the training only went for 2 hours. But this was okay, because the training worked as somewhat of a conversation starter, and members of our team that were interested to learn more did some of their own learning and had conversations with me about deafness and the deaf community. I thought the training was really beneficial, and I highly recommend Auslan Consultancy to provide deaf awareness training if this is something that you or your organisation is interested in. Hi, my name is Michael Paramore. Here at my office, we have 17 members of staff that make up our team, all of which work out of this building, however not at the moment of course due to current restrictions. Myself and another senior member of staff oversee that team to ensure the day-to-day operations run smoothly and to provide advice and support to the team whenever necessary. We recognise that some members of our team would really benefit from undertaking some deaf awareness training. So we engaged the services of Auslan Consultancy to provide this training to our entire staff cohort. The training included deaf awareness and some Auslan tuition that occurred over a 6-week period. I've got to say that all of the team really enjoyed the experience. They learnt a lot, and it really opened their eyes as to how to work best with deaf people, different ways in which you can communicate with members of the deaf and hard of hearing community, and increase their confidence by giving them different strategies and ways to approach me in the workplace. And it's really improved the relationships that I now have with my team because of Auslan Consultancy providing this brilliant training. So thank you. Hello! Happy National Week of Deaf People. My name is Anna, and I'm here to talk to you about Auslan Consultancy and some of the work that James Blythe and Luke King have been doing in recent times. I myself have engaged Auslan Consultancy's services to provide Auslan training and deaf awareness training. Once for a creative project that I was a part of. You may or may not be familiar with this particular dance group that went by the name of the Delta Project. The Delta Project was a group of deaf and non-deaf performers that were all based in Melbourne, and I co-founded the Delta Project back in 2012 along with another deaf choreographer and dancer by the name of Joe Dunbar. Joe and I founded the Delta Project together, and I have since become the artistic director. Anyway, moving forward to last year, I undertook a new creative project, and it was during the creative development rehearsal stage where myself, 2 other dancers and a choreographer, all of whom were not deaf, got together to rehearse. And all of them were amazing individuals, very open-minded, one of which knew basic Auslan. They weren't fluent, but they had encountered deaf people in the past. And I felt that there was a real need for all of them to undertake deaf awareness training. So I got in touch with Luke and he organised the training for me. It was this particular deaf awareness training that I've realised the profound impact deaf awareness training can have on a group of people. So the creative development rehearsals went over a 2-week period, and in the first week the team had yet to undertake their deaf awareness training, and I was noticing that I was having some internal struggles and frustrations around not feeling as though I was fully participating in the group, but I didn't want to have to take on the role of the educator and talk to the team about deaf culture and deaf awareness, and I did know that the deaf awareness training was soon approaching, and I just wanted to focus on my dancing. So, entering the second week, the beginning of the second week, James Blythe arrived to facilitate the training, and it was just fabulous. The way that James presented was amazing. He discussed the difference between access, inclusion, and participation, and what the difference between those three terms was. He used a lot of anecdotal examples, a lot of humour in his presentation. It was very professional but funny at the same time, and James really connected with his audience. And I noticed the profound impact that the session had on my team once it was over, and one of the members of my team approached me and burst into tears. They explained to me that after the training, they realised that some of the things that may have been doing during that first week may have excluded me. And it was only after the training that they realised this, and they felt really guilty and were very apologetic. And the next day and the following week, the culture just changed. There was such a positive energy in the room. We created a lot more space and time to work together more effectively, and we just had a real understanding of one another. It had such a positive impact on the team, and I think it's really worthwhile considering at your workplace, in your social group, within your family. If you were looking at having deaf awareness training, it's just amazing and very worthwhile. Thank you. Hi, my name's Jen, and I work for CBM Australia, which is an international development organisation that supports people with a disability. CBM Australia employed Auslan Consultancy to provide Auslan training to members of our staff over a 2-year period. In the first year, Auslan Consultancy taught basic Auslan, and in the second year, revisited to build upon what they had taught in that first year. It was really great to see how much more comfortable members of my team were when communicating with me after doing the training. They were also more comfortable in employing different strategies to communicate particular ideas in a visual manner, be it using their body or expression, and being comfortable with doing so, regardless of whether or not they knew a particular sign. And it definitely improved the way in which myself and my team communicated with one another, especially when there was something that they maybe didn't know a particular Auslan sign for. They knew how to communicate that idea in a visual way. Now, of course, I didn't attend the training, but on one particular day, I did pop in to the Auslan training, because on that particular day, the teacher had asked members of my team to tell a story in Auslan without spelling anything. So they had to think about how they would tell a story in a very visual manner. I wanted to join in that day just to see how much members of my team had progressed, and it was amazing to see particularly one member of staff who isn't usually very expressive when they communicate, but when they were telling their story in Auslan, they were really expressive, and I just saw the value in the training on that day. So thank you, Auslan Consultancy, for providing such a valuable experience.